Righto fellas, so I've made another logbook scenario with some supplementary sheets I've just downloaded off the internet, and I thought I'll do this because this one's a good one, because a lot of guys do get done for this. And on my TikTok I said I wasn't going to tell people, but on my YouTube I'm going to tell people where the mistakes are. Now, okay, so for those that haven't learnt to use the logbook before, I do have another one on there on how to use the logbook, so you can go off this one if you want, or you can go off on the other ones. There's a couple there. Sorry, I've got the aircon going, keeps pushing down the page there. It doesn't matter. Alright, so anyway, we'll just go quickly again. So write your name, your date, day of the week, driver standard or your BFM, AFM, whatever, Queensland if you're based in Queensland, number plate and license number. Alright, so now we're going to start on the page. So this page is pretty simple. This is your first day out for the week, being a Sunday. Some people go out on a Sunday, others don't. Some start on the Monday. Anyway, so I've just said on the Sunday, okay? So anyway, you can see we started at 3:30 in the morning, had an hour and a half, stopped for brekkie, and just remember this is just a mock-up, this ain't real. Right, 1 hour brekkie, and then we've done 5 1/4, 15, 5 1/4, stopped. Now that's there is 12 hours driving. Now you might think, oh, but under the rules you can't do that. I've had my 1 hour break here, back here. I only have to have 15 minutes, because you only have to have a 1 hour break within that 10 hour period. Okay, so see, I could have even just had a 45 minute here, 15, and gone another 5 1/4. Right, so I just did an hour just to make it easier, and being it's a new computer program I've never used before, it was just easier. Alright, so, and I can read that through the logbook, but frankly I actually don't have my logbook here, it's in the truck, so I'll show you. So after 5 1/4 hours you got to have 15 minutes, after another 2 1/4 hours of driving, so all up 7.5, 8 hours all up, so 7.5 hours drive, half an hour break. Then after another 7.5, so you got 2.5 hours driving, you must have another half an hour break. Now they say you can do 5 half an hour, 5 half an hour, and go again. There's no difference. I've done this, I haven't had any issues. National Heavy Vehicle Regular I've seen, because we go and do, you know, we go over the pits and stuff, and they check the trucks and all that stuff, you know what I mean, like when you got your red jar and stuff coming up. And yeah, they said nothing. They said, yeah, it's fine, because I've got the right brakes. I've had the right amount of time off in that 10 hours of driving. Okay, so don't let that get too much into your mind to screw you up. And just remember also, when you start, where you start, you have to have where you are, odometer. So we're in ABC to ABCD, ABCDE to ABCD, and that's when we run out of hours, because this time we had to do the extra 2 because it's a longer trip, so that's why we ran out of hours. So all up it was a 14-hour trip. You only understand 12-hour book. Okay, so just remember that. Alright, as I said, we've had a 7-hour break at the end here. It's actually 7 1/4, so you can count it, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1/4 hours. That's what you have to have, 7 hours or more. Alright, no worries. Alright, let's go on to the next sheet now. And yeah, so here's the next sheet, same thing. Put all your credentials, da-da-da, bullshit, whatever at the top, and we start. Right, so he's done it again, an hour and a half, got home, went to bed, come back to work, and then he's left and only just gone to ABCD and come back to ABC. So he's done 5 1/4, 1 hour, 5 1/4, and you can do that. See how I've done it like that? 5 1/4, 1 hour, 5 1/4. Yeah, I don't know what I was worried about on the other video. Anyway, somehow I must have thought I had a 15 minute, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so you can do that as well. You can do 5 1/4, 1 hour, 5 1/4. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you do 5 1/4, 45, you must stop after 4.5 hours to have another 15 minute, then you can keep going. Okay? Yeah, and don't forget to put your 12 and 12, or calculate your hours, work time, rest time, here at the end here. Okay? And don't forget, before you start the next page, you must have wrote your autograph in there. Alright, now as much as I give these guys a bit of shit because of this, I do that because, well, let's face it, if I make a mistake, I'm a mistake, but I'm pretty much got a diploma on this, and yeah, I try and help others from not getting mistakes. And yes, the National Heavy Vehicle Regulator will probably hate me, but on the other hand, they should be loving me because I'm teaching guys on not what to do. And that means the National Heavy Vehicle Regulator can start hounding business owners on making sure their trucks are compliant. If drivers are compliant but trucks aren't, at least then they can get trucks off the road repaired, and a lot of these companies that are dodgy will be off the road, and they'll make room for the big, better companies. That means wages go up, things will change, you know what I mean? So that's what my aim is here. My aim is here to make sure every driver is compliant, understands their book, and doesn't ever get fined ever again. Alright, so on this, alright, now, as I said, on this, I'm going to show you where the mistakes are. Up there, no mistakes. Perfect, first page, not a problem. But take note, we start at 3:30 in the morning, okay? So, your 24-hour period finishes the next day at 3:30. You must have had a 7-hour break before 3:30 the next morning. So, you would have had to finish, excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Had to finish at 8:30, but you finished early. So it doesn't matter. But because he's had his 7 1/4, which is, oh, excuse me, I'm laying on my stomach here. Because I've had a 7 1/4 hour. Just give me a sec, I'm going to get rid of the hiccups. Sorry about that, guys. Far out, I got reflux, so obviously my tummy wasn't wanting to settle too quick. Alright, so yeah, we've had 7 1/4 hour break, which is fantastic. That's what you have to have. But because he's done 12 hours on that day and he started 3:30, he couldn't start till 3:30 the next day. See here, and it's like the other video, I made the mistakes. I didn't make the mistakes, I made the mistakes, as in I put them in there to show people. Right, so 3:30. Alright, 3:30. Now there is something I can show you, but I'm not going to show you. But you can write up here, you can put a line down from here, because you're allowed to leave notes and stuff, saying when you're 24 hours over this side, what day, time that you're 24 hours due, you know, you're 7 hours due, all that type of stuff, you know what I mean? I'll show you in another video. I'll do another quick one, because I'm going to show you how to advance your book as well. I did that on TikTok, but I'm going to do a better one. Alright, so you started at 3:30 yesterday, and that means 3:30 is the new day. Well, is the end of that day. The new day started at the end of that 7 hour, which would make, well, if he started at 2:45, 12, but he started at 12 o'clock, so that means that's the new day. So his new day finishes at 12, it starts at 12, and he has to be done by 5 o'clock that night. Okay, so just remember what I just said to you, by 5 o'clock that night. Okay, right, there's a couple of mistakes here, and I've done it for a reason. So he's come home, done an hour and a half, got home, went to bed, got up, right, and then he's worked 5 1/4, 1 hour, 5 1/4, gone, and he's back at home, finished for the day. Okay, can you see the mistakes? I'm going to point the mistakes out to you. Mistakes are, in a 24-hour period from 3:30 till 3:30, he's done 13.5 hours in a 24-hour period. Okay, and then here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1/4. Then he's done his 5 1/4 hour, 5 1/4, and he's finished at 7:15. Because he started his next day, which he wasn't meant to, but he started at midnight, he's also now screwed up his hours, driving in too many hours in excess and not having a 7-hour break in the allocated time, because he was meant to be having a 7-hour break from 5 o'clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He was meant to start at 5 and he didn't. He went to 7:15. So that there is what a lot of guys do, and that's how much of a big screw up is, and that is a lot of money. I'm talking up to $6,000 plus. That's a lot of money. There goes 2 weeks wages. Well, for me it's just on, well, I get more than that, but yeah, 2 weeks wages. So I'm showing you these videos so you guys can understand on how much that it could cost you if you make mistakes, and not if you're not watching what you're doing or not focusing. Alright, I'm going to take photos of both these sheets. Nah, so I won't. You can just go through the video again. But yeah, so there you go. It's amazing if you don't watch what you're doing, how much it's going to cost you, and that's a big mistake. Too many hours in excess and not having a 7-hour break in that 24. He would have had a 7-hour break. Let's say he would have left at say 3-4 o'clock. Probably would have had a 7, but, or you know, whatever, but he didn't have it in the allocator of that 24. Alright, just remember that. Alright guys, it's just another quick video I just made. Hope you understand it. If you don't, just remember, just keep going back, watching the video many times. Alright, cheers guys.